Those of you who have been paying attention, I've been making a series of videos that have been following the story of dates that are Christian holidays tied to the life of Jesus and have had major events in the media. And back on May 26th, I made a video saying that there was going to be a major event on St. John's Day. I think we're going to see another big event around St. John's Day. So then I went on to say that they were ramping up the events and that things are going to get hairy. And they have been. What this suggests to me is that things are ramping up. This is a ramp, basically telling you that there's going to be an escalation of more events. Everything is going to escalate, essentially. Everything. And so be prepared. As I predicted in my video entitled St. John's Day, a big event happened. A condo in Miami collapsed, and they are milking this event on the media. Now, this event is heavily coded. She says there was 1 person killed and 9 injured. There's your 19 for your son.
1 person was killed and 9 others were injured when a condo building partially collapsed around 1:30 this morning, and the fear is that the number of fatalities could dramatically rise.
So the event happened at 1:30 this morning, which is your number 13.
We're talking about Champlain Tower South, which is right here at the corner of 88th Street and Collins Avenue.
An anagram of Surfside is fissured. Fissure means to split, to divide, to cleave, to separate. All of this is about separating the wheat from the chaff, or the wheat from the tars, or panning for gold. It's the leavening. The tower is sometimes interpreted as meaning danger, crisis, sudden change, change again, change is delta. Destruction, higher learning, and liberation. Tower is a vertical structure linking heaven and earth, much like a mountain, in this way akin to a ladder. So you got ladder, mountain, tower. It can be a stronghold, maybe a prison. The tower may signify ascent, and when it contains a virgin or a princess, and in several of these events they've had the name Sarah, which means princess, might represent a walled garden. We've had many references to park or a walled garden, wall, as in fairy tales such as Rapunzel, and science fiction such as Hawthorne's Rappaccini's Daughter. In Christianity, the Tower of Babel was built in an attempt to link heaven and earth. So what's happening right now is the connection between heaven and earth. It's not a physical thing, it is a metaphysical thing, it is a mental thing. It's evolution of the mind. This happened on Collins Street, and they show the sign quite a bit. Diminutive of Nicholas. See Nicholas. It literally means victory people, from Nike, victory. So Nike, Greek goddess of victory. Victory, Proto-Indian European root wake. So let's go have a look at that. Clan, social unit above the household. It forms all or parts of, wouldn't you know it, economy. Villa, village, villain. House, royal house. Group of houses, as in a condo, is to bend or wind. Changing, changeable, weak, pliant, soft. To give way, yield, change. Delta means change. The third meaning, which is the one they were referring to fight, conquer. It forms all or part of convict, convince, evict, strength, power, age, able in battle. But 88 has to do also with the, the recycler or the infinity loop. And this tower is the South Tower, which south means sun, but south has been a recurring code in multiple events this year. South Tower is reminiscent of 9/11, and one witness even references 9/11 because I think they want to draw a direct comparison to 9/11 so people start to realize what is actually going on here.
You can see just how catastrophic it was. According to the mayor of Surfside, Charles Burkett, 1/3 of the building collapsed this morning, and the other 2/3 are also at risk of coming down.
So again, it's a reference to 9/11. One building came down, the South Tower came down, and the rest of the building is structurally unsound, could come down as well. A lot of people in the comments have also compared this to the Oklahoma City bombing. That is also just like this. So 1/3 again is 13, or 33, represents one pillar of the three. So the three pillars, the two pillars with the Jacob's ladder in the middle, one of the pillars has come down.
Now, this building is 12 stories tall. It has 136 units, and it was built in 1981.
So 1981 is 19 and 9, 199. That was a code in the basketball. 12 stories high for your 12 houses, and 136 units for your number 10 or 1 for Unity.
The former vice mayor of Surfside, Barry Cohen, he says that he was on the 3rd floor in a unit that wasn't damaged, but he heard a series of bangs this morning, very loud, woke him up from a deep sleep. He grabbed his wife and they opened the door, and
so this man says he heard a series of bangs, and that a lot of other people say the same thing.
They ran downstairs. They came across a steel door, but they couldn't get through because it was bent and there was debris behind that door. They went.
The debris is broken, to break. So to break, to shatter, to break the glass. A lot of events lately have been about breaking the glass. The BB guns on the 55 freeway has been about breaking the glass. So to break.
Went to the parking garage or the basement, but that area was flooded because of all the pipes that had burst.
So you had debris, crash, and then flooding.
And water was filling the area, so they went back upstairs. He grabbed his underwear. He called out to the firefighters.
He comes back upstairs to grab his underwear. They're throwing this in there specifically so you pay attention to the absurdity of this story. He left his apartment, he went down to the parking garage, and he goes back upstairs to grab his underwear.
Rescued him using a ladder truck.
Ladder. 9/11.
55 units, according to the Miami-Dade Fire Rescue Chief, were damaged. And
55, like I decoded in the 55 freeway.
It would take 1 to 2 months or even longer, according to an engineer we talked to this morning, to find the answer to that question.
So 1 to 2 months is a time frame that they give, and one of the 3 pillars has fallen. So perhaps this is referencing that one of the 3 pillars that have to come down in order to replace the existing system has come down, and we have 1 to 2 months time frame for things to start to shift to the new system.
Just another perspective that we've been giving you all morning on this building collapse.
Okay, so you got a number 96 here in the flooded parking garage. 96 is inversion of a 69. 69 is the yin-yang, the Cancer. The yin-yang is the black and the white, and the black and the white is flipping. And so I think what's going on here is an indicator that the flipping is happening. And in crypto, there's this term that they use is the flippening, and that is when we expect that XRP is going to take over Bitcoin. And what is happening right now, this weekend especially, there's been huge momentum towards trashing Bitcoin because of its energy consumption problem. And as a result, there was a massive crash again in the crypto sphere. And so in the last day or so, crypto has started to rise. Now, this is an indicator that things are starting to flip, in my opinion.
Was perfectly what Madeline was just saying about when the pipes burst and the flooding started happening in the building, and that's what you're seeing right there.
Now, pipes burst. Pipes are also analogous to the rails. Could be referring to the old system with all of the, the cyber attacks that have been happening, and this could be a reference to pipes bursting, and there will be a flood to come in the existing system.
You could tell that these were homes people were living in.
So if you listen very carefully, they do a lot of talking to dress up this location. If you look at the building itself, it's empty, save for a few items such as this blue blanket, this brown blanket. In another floor there's a bed and there's a bunk bed, but there's no paint on the walls. There's no other furniture. You don't see any other furniture. You don't see any personal items, and the rooms are quite tiny. This blanket is what I want to draw your attention to because it is covered in X's, and out of the entire building, that is the only thing that stands out in terms of personal items, and they focus on it. This is representative of XRP, the Cairo. This is what's to come. In many of the events that I have looked at lately, there has been an X, and that is representative of XRP. See, again, blank walls. There's some kind of furniture here, but who has a room like this that has bunk beds and an office chair with nothing on the wall, absolutely nothing on the wall? And if you look at this, this is pretty thin and flimsy. Look at the floor and how flimsy this is.
One woman actually ran up to our photographer Brian and asked him if she could look into the camera and zoom into her 6th floor unit to see if any of her family.
Oh, how convenient. It just happens to be this very apartment. The one that's all dressed up. The one with the X blanket. And what is this, a skyline of New York City? They zoom in on the X blanket, just in case you didn't notice it before.
On the beach, I actually encountered a 9/11 first responder who was here visiting. He told me about how important it was during this response time to make sure we keep the scene quiet. He said that with the helicopters out here, it was creating a lot of noise. He said it's important to keep it quiet so that they can hear those calls for help.
Now that our chopper is back up, is it, guys?
A moment ago they said they don't want any choppers around because they don't want the noise to interfere in finding these people who are trying to call out while they're buried under the rubble. And then they throw to the chopper to get pictures of the condo.
Sky 10, is this live? Are these live pictures?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to confirm.
This used to be an L-shaped building, now no longer, as you take a look at that rubble.
It used to be an L-shaped building. It is still an L-shaped building. So they contradict themselves in this story multiple times to draw your attention to the fact that they are reporting nonsense.
Show you again what happened before what's left on your screen right now. This was into the newsroom a few minutes ago, surveillance video of the collapse that we got permission to use.
So what are the odds that there's a camera pointed at it in color right when it happens to collapse with a perfect view? This man here has a couple of things to say. First of all, he is reporting that a man has come down from Jupiter. Not kidding. Man came down from Jupiter.
I want to go to some video before we talk about the history of this building that just occurred a few minutes ago. If we could roll that video. This is a man that just drove in from Jupiter. He drove in from Jupiter. He has 5 family members in this building. His mother, his father, his sister, his brother, who are now missing. And he pulled up to City Hall frantic begging for help, asking where to go.
There's 5 family members in this building. Number 5 is a master of change, able to go with the flow and adapt itself to thrive in different environments and social situations. It is happiest when things feel fresh, high energy, and full of possibility. So it's about change. Jupiter, expansion, passion, reproduction, growth. Sagittarius, Pisces. It is the sacral chakra. This may not be 100% accurate, but it's closest I've come. Now, Jupiter in ordinal numerology is number 99. There were 99 people missing. 99 has come up quite a bit.
That was down at that building since 4 o'clock this morning. Here's what
There's your number 4.
This building has been under a lot of scrutiny lately with the 40-year recertification of the
40 years is the second number 4.
Building. And with the 88 Park building going up next door to the south just in Miami Beach.
So Park and Parker, another one of the witnesses was named Mary Parker. Park is a tract of land enclosed as a preserve for beasts of the chase. Well, that's us. Park is like the Garden of Eden, enclosed wood or heath land used as a game preserve. Fencing about, enclosure, a fold for sheep. That's us.
There have been a lot of engineers involved in the plans and with recent inspections. Now, I've spoken with some residents that are survivors that got out of the building, and one of them was an engineer, and there was nothing in that building that would indicate something of this magnitude was ready to happen.
And there you have that from that commissioner. Again,
So the commissioner says there is nothing that would indicate that anything like this would happen. It's another clue. So now we got another story about a mother and daughter hospitalized after falling 4 floors. There's your number 4 again on News 4 at 4 o'clock.
She says that they fell from the 9th floor of the building down to the 5th floor.
Right.
And as you mentioned, that's about 40 feet because 10 feet per floor. And even with a broken pelvis, as the friends and family are telling us, the mother somehow found the strength to lift up her daughter to get her to safety. So
Number 4. Number 4 in the Bible means creation. This number directly relates to the creative ability of God. It would also be the mark of seasons, which would be used to identify different celebrations and feasts. Among everything that was created, 4 important elements are earth, air, fire, and water. It represents the tetragrammaton, the 4 elements of creation. 4 is the builder's number, which is why it's a building that came down. So this is about death and rebirth, the destruction and the resurrection, the phoenix. This lady's testimony is a little bit long, but there are things in it that she says that are basically allegory, and I want to highlight some of the things that she says.
And we knew something was up. It rattled us. We immediately got out of bed. We looked around. We looked out the window. Our apartment faces the street. And I saw a plume of smoke coming up. Very unusual shape, and just everything about it was unusual. A few cars, not many at that hour of the night. And very soon thereafter, a police car that pulled up, and I heard a neighbor yell out, "What's going on?" And the policeman said, "We don't know yet." He was running around with a flashlight at that moment.
Running around with a flashlight to me represents the white light in the blackness, the flip.
And when I opened the door to my apartment, it leads to a long hallway. And all I saw was debris, and the partial debris was covering the door next to us as well. There's another staircase that we took and went
Staircase is about the leavening. It's about Jacob's ladder.
Down and saw several other people that were in the staircase. We tried to exit on the pool deck and
Exit is also about exiting the system. It's finding your way out, the leavening.
could not open the door. It was jammed. So we continued down and went down to the garage, but it was full of water. up to our ankles already. We didn't know what was going on at that point, and we realized that we weren't going to be able to get out through there either. So we decided to go back up the stairs. The door to the building itself, we couldn't get it back in because the electricity was out. We went back up the stairs. We took 2 elderly people with us that we didn't know. We met them in the staircase. When we opened the door and saw that the building had collapsed, it was just surreal, really surreal.
There's that word again, surreal. Now this lady, she's wearing black, brand new jacket, and it says Calvin Klein on it. Calvin Klein is CC for your 33.
Down here. I just ran down here to see if it was her. I know I can't do anything, but I just wanted to make sure she was okay. It's just really traumatizing.
So it's very traumatizing. Traumatizing, scream, horrific, terror. A lot of these words come up multiple times because they want you to be scared. So this is that Nicholas Balboa character. He allegedly saved some boy, and he's wearing a black Nike jacket. His name is Nicholas. Nicholas means Nike, and Nike is famous for the swoosh logo. He's also wearing a black Diamondbacks hat. Brand new, but this one has the A on it.
Carrying heavy machinery to the site of the building collapse. Spotlights are blazing, creating near daylight conditions so the search and rescue efforts can continue through the night.
If you notice, his t-shirt is brand new and he's wearing yet a different Diamondbacks hat. And it's deliberate. This is also D for Delta, the Delta variant. The Delta variant produces the black fungus. And he's wearing a necklace. His necklace says 729. 729 is 99. Again, a number 99. All of these things are deliberate. And a lot of these people on camera, you know who they are given t-shirts to wear. So pay attention to the t-shirts that they wear. It's usually t-shirts. Sometimes it's jackets, sometimes it's shirts, but it's either color, a logo, an image, a graphic number, something is on the t-shirt that you need to pay attention to.
I don't want to be dramatic in saying that. That is quite literally the case.
Yes, 100%. About 15 feet away.
Why you guys? Why that type of close encounter with death, literally? Why you guys?
I don't know. I mean, it's just faith.
With Cecilia, Janae back there, they are here on vacation. The vacation's supposed to go a little longer. They told me they just want to get home at this point.
Black is coming up a lot lately in the media. There have been reports of the black fungus being part of an effect of COVID now from the Delta Plus variant. And Russia and UK, they are battling a ship issue in the Black Sea. Again, with the ship issue, this has come up multiple times also. Black represents the feminine, the black moon, Mary Magdalene. Also earlier we had the number 96, which is the inverse of 69 for the flippening or the flipping of the inverse of the black and the white. So we were in white dominant before, now we're going into black dominant. Arizona, Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks. Diamond, diamond hands. Dustin Diamond. Diamond is representative of the nature of this place, the fabric of this reality. The XX for the IXXI. The XX merging into the X, the VV, the Mom Wow going into the VV, the 4x4, the 22, the XRP, X. Here's the Diamondback logo on the hat. The Arizona Diamondbacks won the World Series in 2001. 2001 is when September 11th happened. This building is throwing back to 2001, to the Twin Towers coming down. It is a mirror of that. It is a reflection of that.
Floors were left pancaked on top of one another. Entire apartments cut in half.
So if pan from side to side, swing from one object to another in a scene. Pan is the Greek god of shepherds and flocks. Pan, verb, to wash gravel or sand in a pan in search of gold. So with the leavening going on, they're searching for gold. They're searching for the people who see, the people who have risen. I mean, they're not like coming for you or anything, but that's what's going on with it's a sorting, it's a sifting through of all the people who see, from separating them from the people who don't see, the people who know the truth from the people who don't know the truth.
This was a picture that you see in magazines from terror attacks.
So that guy, he has drawn a direct comparison to terror attack. They can't stop talking about it. They're even filming footage that makes it look like 9/11. There's a reason that they're doing this. I think there's something more going on here with the throwbacks to 2001, considering that gentleman was wearing an Arizona Diamondbacks hat, and that also throws back to 2001. So that's seemingly disconnected, but it is actually connected, considering that the World Series was postponed due to September 11th. For the first time in history, it was postponed by quite some time. And that was an event that was a series of firsts. So the Arizona Diamondbacks had only been around for 4 years, and they won the World Series. Diamond is the sine wave, the dual nature of this world, the square and compass. Square is number 4. 4 is delta, D. Delta is the 4th chakra, the heart chakra. I think that what's going on here is that they are trying to go after the heart this time, whereas the first wave with coronavirus, they were talking about crown, going after the mind. It was a mind virus. Now it's a heart virus. So if you are not strong enough to get through this and you don't realize that this is all fake, you're going to be susceptible and you're going to be drawn in. There's going to be a series of these types of events like we've been seeing the last couple of months, with a lot of events that are targeting children. Target has been another word. Target means butt of a joke. You are the butt of a joke. Also, on Tuesday, there was a headbutt leading to Devin Booker getting a bloody nose in the Suns game. Headbutt. Butt of a joke. Now, St. John's Day is the birthday of St. John, which is supposed to be the reflection of Jesus. It has to do with the summer solstice. So Jesus' birthday is the winter solstice. It has to do with the sun. So the next holiday in Christian tradition is St. James the Great Day, July 25th. Typically following these events, some major fluctuation happens in the marketplace, specifically related to XRP when it has to do with these Christian holidays. So I would suggest looking at XRP behavior this weekend to see if there is a rise in the price. And I would say rise because we've already had the drop. The drop happened with the last event. So this should be a rise. That's all I got to say on this event. So I'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye.